friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Perfume Geek and I am Jada here with another scent memory video for you this week. This time about Father's Day and some Father's Day scent memories that I have. Back in May, I did a scent memory video that I will link below about Mother's Day and my mom and grandma and mother-in-law. Today, we're going to talk about the scent memories of my favorite men, which are my husband, father-in-law, granddaddy, and my daddy. So we're going to talk about scent memories for all of them. I've got so many this time that I probably will not go into reading the notes of each fragrance like I normally do because the video would be really long. But I'll give you a good enough idea of what they smell like, and a lot of you are going to recognize these scents anyway, and you're going to know exactly what they smell like. So let's get into this. Let's talk about my favorite men and my Father's Day scent memories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my husband and work my way to my dad. So we're going to start with my husband. This is Anthony. We've been married for 22 years. And for those entire 22 years, Anthony has been wearing my favorite men's fragrance of all time because he wears it, which is JHL by Aramis. Now JHL has been around since 1982. And Anthony has been wearing it since the 80s, long before he met me. So he's been wearing this for years and years. If you don't know, JHL was created by Estee Lauder for her husband, Joseph Harold Lauder, JHL. And she even designed the bottle to look like his favorite bottle of cognac. But JHL is my favorite men's fragrance of all time because it reminds me of my husband. It's this wonderful, classically kind of old-timey, incensey, fragrant, spicy, gentleman's fragrance. I absolutely love it. I have no idea how many bottles over the years he's gone through. He's about halfway through with this particular bottle. I would never want him to be without his JHL. I will make sure that this is always on his vanity. So we're going to kick off this video with JHL by Aramis for my husband, Anthony. Another couple of things that Anthony likes to wear that I absolutely love are L'Occitane's Eau de Beau. He will sometimes switch and wear this when he maybe needs a scent break, or maybe he's becoming a little bit nose blind to the JHL. Eau de Beau is another classic gentleman's spicy, sandalwoody fragrance that's just so good. I've been known to sneak a squirt or two for myself. It's that good. Anytime I go downtown to Atlanta and I'm shopping in maybe one of the nicer malls, I try to stop by the L'Occitane store, pick him up some bath gel, shower gel, and things to go with this. This might be discontinued now, but it's still readily available online, eBay, fragrance sites, and such. So hopefully he will be wearing L'Occitane's Eau de Beau for quite a while. Another favorite of my husband. And then two other products that we always have on hand that smell fantastic. Anthony's American Crew Hair Pomade Cream. So clean, so fresh, just makes him smell like $1,000,000. And his umpteenth bottle of Pinaud aftershave lotion, Clubman aftershave lotion. This has been around for decades. It is dirt cheap. It smells fantastic, and in fact, he just bought this bottle a week ago, so that tells you how much he likes it. So Pinaud's Clubman aftershave lotion, another favorite of my hubbin, Anthony. The hubbin, I call him the hubbin, the hubs. So that's Anthony. So let's talk about Anthony's dad, my father-in-law, Bruce. My kids call him Papa. Since I've been married for 22 years almost, he's been my father-in-law for just that long. And Papa is a little bit like me in that you can't pin him down to one scent. And the reason is because Papa doesn't really buy his own fragrances. My mother-in-law and one of my brother-in-laws keeps him well stocked with designer scents. Papa always smells like $1,000,000 though, and he'll wear anything that they give him, and he's always fantastic. The other week when I was cleaning out our bathroom downstairs that we use as our guest bath, I found this Azzaro Chrome for men that Papa left down there in the bathroom. And it's Papa. Just another good classic citrusy, spicy scent that I've smelled on him many, many times. So Azzaro is just one of many scents that Papa wears. Always smells so good. And love you, Papa. Happy Father's Day if you're watching. So let's move on to both my granddaddies. Now both my granddads are no longer with us. They've been gone for many, many years. But it's amazing to me how scent and a scent memory can put them right back in the room with you with just the scent and such a strong memory of how they used to smell when I'd be sitting on their laps as a little girl or whatnot. So let's talk about my grandpas, plural. This is my mom's father. This is Pa, Ma and Pa. Pa was a very classic Old Spice man. And I can remember as a little girl when I would go into their bathroom, I would lock the door, and they had this little toiletry tray in the bathroom. And I would lock the door, and then I would get out all their little hair tonics and perfumes and all, and I would open them up and smell them and just have myself a little party in the bathroom. Well, Pa always had a glass bottle that used to be in glass of the classic Old Spice with the old metal stopper. Oh my goodness, I love this smell. I love this smell. This smell hasn't changed since that time. It still smells fantastic. I took it upon myself to buy a bottle of this for this video, but you can believe that I will set this at Anthony's vanity in our bathroom, and hopefully he'll get the hint and he will start using a little Old Spice now. But Old Spice is a classic that my pa used to use. Love it. Another classic scent that my pa used, good old Vitalis hair tonic. Now, when I was researching for this video, I tried to look up what the notes in Vitalis are, and I was not able to find any descriptions of what Vitalis smells like. But I did find some pretty humorous descriptions online. One site said that it makes you smell like a dude. Okay. Another site says makes you smell like your grandpa, which is eerily accurate because yes, it does. But this is just one of those clean, just out of the shower, gentlemanly cologne scents that you just put in your hair. It keeps you from having your straggly hair. Again, I took it upon myself to buy a bottle recently for this video, and it's going to go in Anthony's corner of the bathroom, and hopefully he will start using that so I can smell it a little more often. So for my pa, Old Spice and Vitalis, two old style classic men's scents. Now, we're going to have to step away from classic fragrances for these two guys, okay? This is my Papa and Granny. Papa is my dad's dad. And then, of course, this is my dad. Hi, Dad. Hope you're watching. Have you subscribed? Have you liked this video? Have you commented? You need to, Dad. Love you. Happy Father's Day. Anyway, these two guys, as far as I know, have never worn fragrance. It's just not their jam. It's just not something they ever did that I can ever remember. So, instead of going down the fragrance alley, we had to go a little bit conceptual, and I had to think about, when I think of them, what scents do I think of? And so, with the help of Demeter fragrances and a couple of drugstore items, I think I've got them nailed down. So Papa, like I said, was a no-nonsense guy, very hard worker. Before I was in the picture, long, long ago, he owned a feed store. As I was a little girl growing up, he was a groundskeeper for a VA hospital. Hello, Gandalf. Gandalf wants to find out about Papa. Every week we have a cat, so we'll see if he hangs around. But hello, Gandalf. Anyway, you're interrupting me. Papa was a hard worker, an outdoorsman. He loved gardening. He loved fishing. My best memories of him after he retired, and I'm old enough to have the memories, are of him going out and fishing on the Tennessee River and gardening and beekeeping, and he was always busy and he always had projects going on. He had a lemon tree in the living room that produced lemons. He was just that kind of guy that was always doing things and learning things. So one of the smells that when I looked at Demeter's site to get some ideas, Gandalf, is Demeter Paperback. Now the reason I chose Paperback is because Papa had an entire wall, I mean from one side of the living room to the other, of National Geographic magazines that started in the 1940s. And I guess he subscribed up until the 80s or 90s. I mean, he had decades worth of old National Geographic magazines that I used to love to get into when I would visit and read and stuff. So Paperback smells exactly like old magazines and ink and dusty bookshelf. It's amazing. It smells just like Papa's little reading area in his living room. Amazing. Paperback is a goodie. I would recommend, if you ever order from Demeter, check out Paperback. Unbelievable. Another one for Papa is Beeswax. As I mentioned, Papa in his later years was a beekeeper. And although at the time I was too scared to get too close and watch him collect the honey from the bees, I have vivid memories of him dressing head to toe in his beekeeper clothes with his big beekeeper headgear, and he would bring in these mason jars full of honey with the comb, and that is what this is exactly smells like. Not only the honey, but that waxy honeycomb that he would put down in each mason jar. Beeswax. Absolutely amazing. This is the little pickup splash from Demeter, and it's incredible. The two of these together, it's like he's standing in the room with me. It's unbelievable. And then the third one for Papa, which is, it's almost embarrassing to say because I don't want anybody to go, really, you thought of this one for your Papa. This is called Earthworm, okay? Papa does not, whatever, smell like an earthworm. But that's not what earthworm is all about. Earthworm is reminiscent of really wet, constantly wet dirt, dark, rich dirt and earth. So when I smell it, this takes me back to when we would get into his little fishing boat on the bank of the Tennessee River, and we would go fishing. And you know how the riverbank, it never really dries out, and there's that foresty, muddy, damp, dark, rich smell? That's what this is. So this just takes me back to our little fishing trips with Papa when we would go catfishing, and occasionally he'd catch a turtle on the trot line, that type of thing. But these three scents to me really capture who Papa was. A hard worker, always a learner, fantastic. So that's my Papa. So now let's talk about my favorite father of the bunch. My father. This is my dad. As I was saying, Dad has never worn fragrance that I'm aware of. But as long as I've known him, he has had a little contraption in his bathroom that heats his shaving cream. It's a little thing you put the can in, and somehow or another it warms up the shave so he can get a nice, soft, rich shaving cream. And so when I smell Barbisol shaving cream, it takes me right back to being a little girl standing on the toilet seat watching my dad shave. And he would smell so good, and he would let me watch him shave, and of course I'd be all up in his business and everything, but Barbisol shaving cream absolutely smells like my dad, and I still love the smell. Barbisol shaving cream. And one more for my dad. My dad is a gardener, as both of my granddads were. My dad was a gardener. I used to help him garden some, and I think my love for gardening comes from my dad. This is Demeter Tomato. Now, my dad doesn't walk around smelling like a tomato, but like I said, this is kind of a conceptual trip that I'm taking with Dad. Dad and I used to, with my two brothers, he would send us out with a big bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, and have us help him pick tomatoes. I can remember one summer he had so many cherry tomatoes that we actually went and sold them to a local pizza joint down the road. And so when I smell this Demeter Tomato, that is such a fun memory of us that we have with him, because we just kept going back and back and filling buckets and buckets of tomatoes. And so when I smell Demeter Tomato, I go back to my dad in the garden and helping him, and just that earthy, fruity smell of tomato, fantastic. So Demeter Tomato is another absolute strong scent memory that I have of my dad. So there you have it. We have got our scent memories of husband and dad to my 3 kids, Anthony, Papa Bruce, my Papa, and my dad. And all of these scents I never want to be without again. It's fantastic. And I enjoyed sharing these with you, and I hope you enjoyed it too. So if this is the kind of content that you want to see and you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. You can click the little bell below so you will be notified when it's time to get geekified. I've got some interesting and fun videos in the works that are going to be coming to you soon. I was going to say that my plan originally was to film once or twice a week. That has not been happening because between my career outside the home and my mom career inside the home, I just don't have the time to film like I want to. And I want to put the time and effort into researching and really giving you more than just talking points. So I will get back to this channel as quickly as I can, hopefully in another few days, as we're in summer vacation now. But until next time, stay fragrant, my friends. Tell me in the comments below, what are your favorite scent memories of the favorite men in your life? And until next time, take care.